What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 fragrances that are very long-lasting fragrances that I do have in my collection. This is going to be geared more towards spring. Where I'm at, it's still cold, but where you're at might be hot. So I kind of have a variety mixed in here. Yes, it's kind of for the spring, kind of not. It is what it is. It's just what the spring is, right? So let's go ahead and get started. For this fragrance, you might not expect it to last long, especially if you're reading comments on Fragrantica or anything. If you're hearing anything about this brand, everyone's going to tell you that this brand, this fragrance brand or fragrance house just does not last. But on me, I have no issues with performance. Some comments in Fragrantica might say this fragrance lasts 30 seconds, but to me, this fragrance actually does last 12 plus hours, and it's a new batch. So it's not like this is an old batch. Just because I'm talking about a house that doesn't last long and a batch numbers, you already know that I'm talking about a Creed fragrance. But this particular Creed fragrance is going to be a Ventus Cologne. Ventus Cologne, on me, 12 plus hours, fresh scent. It's a Mandarin version of a Ventus. Really nice. I put a really big dent on it. And I'm going to have to pick up the bigger size bottle when I run through this one, just because this is one that I do love my Ventus. I do love my regular one, my Absolute Ventus, and my Ventus Cologne. But it's only a matter of time before I have to get the bigger bottle. Yeah, the Ventus Cologne for sure. Next is going to be one that you might not have heard of. This is a fragrance that you could actually find on at a pretty decent price randomly. I actually did overpay for this bottle just because I didn't do my homework, but it is what it is. It's going to be Loewe 7 Cobalt. So if you're looking for a really good price on it, check the description down below with any of the affiliate links. I have this down there. If it's not down there, I saw it in TJ Maxx for the 3.4 ounce bottle for $70. I have the 50 ml bottle. I will definitely have to pick up the bigger bottle of this fragrance at some point whenever I run through it. But really nice fragrance, very long lasting. It is I would say a manlier take on Bleu de Chanel. So has more of the shaving foam, fresh, spicy, which is my cup of tea. So it might not be yours, but it definitely is my cup of tea. I have smelled Bleu de Chanel fragrances before. I have owned one, but this to me takes the cake, and this is a sneaky performer. This is one that you're definitely gonna go nose blind to after a while, but it's still there. If you're spraying it on clothes, it's gonna last for days. You're just definitely gonna go nose blind to it. So before you say that this fragrance does not last, it is actually a very powerful fragrance, and you will go nose blind to it fairly quickly. And let's go ahead and go with the last fresh fragrance in this top 5. It's gonna be Mephisto, and it's actually what inspired this video. It's my scent of the day today, and it's still going strong. I sprayed it on at about maybe 2 p.m. before I went to work, and it is 5:38 a.m. So that is 15 hours, and I can still smell it. Right now it's more of a skin scent, but it has a little bit of projection. Not too crazy, but the sillage is still somewhat there. This is the 30 ml you can find under $100. So definitely a good price if you don't think you're gonna wear this one too much. It is in the aspect of like a Creed Silver Mountain Water, but it's an easier version, easier to wear version. And it's also a cheaper alternative. You could get the 3.4 ounce bottle for like the price of a 50 ml Silver Mountain Water. So if you've smelled the DNA before and you want the easier one to wear, even though I think they're both pretty easy to wear, but the easier one is going to be Mephisto. Mephisto also does last an insane amount of time. I think that makes sense, right? But yeah. And then let's go ahead and not darken it up a little bit, but this is going to be more for the cooler weather a little bit. This is a fragrance I don't really reach for that much, but it is a fragrance I do love. Grease by Maison Alhambra is a very good clone to this fragrance, and Grease Dior is the actual Dior fragrance. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly version, I would say go with Grease by Maison Alhambra. If you're looking to splurge a little bit, these smaller bottles did raise up in price. They went from 160 to 220, so missed opportunity there. I would probably recommend you just get the bigger size bottle because it's $330, $100 more. You get more than double the fragrance. But this is a rose scent, rose chypre, mostly rose, powdery kind of rose, kind of a grandma scent. This is my cup of tea, honestly. I just don't really reach for it that often. Not really too sure why, but last time I did wear it, really enjoyed the sillage. And it was strong enough that I sprayed it on my shirt and it transferred onto a jacket I had on. So keep in mind, I wore the jacket probably the next day, or I was hanging the jacket up. I don't really remember, but I still smelled this fragrance on that jacket, even though I did not spray it on that jacket. But yeah, Gris Dior, definitely a long-lasting fragrance that no one will probably talk about, just because I don't think that many people talk about Privé lines, honestly. Like Dior Privé lines or anything like that. I'm a big fan of the Privé lines. I do like Chanel's private line, Dior's Privé line. What else have I tried? I've tried Dolce & Gabbana's private line. That was actually pretty nice. I haven't tried Dunhill's, but I need to get around to it just because that's a really cheap private line. Armani's, I've tried it. I've tried all of them. Dior's probably one of my favorite higher end designers, especially those private lines. And lastly, it's going to be a fragrance that, I mean, it's pretty much like a staple for this kind of video. It's going to be Triumph de Bacchus by Argos. This is nuclear. This is probably 24-hour plus. I have never not taken a shower in a day, so I can't really tell you if it's not 24-hour, but I can only imagine it's 24 hours. Here in Buffalo, we're still getting some cooler weather, like 30 degrees. That was actually pretty decent out today. It was 64 degrees, but let's say 64 degrees is pretty much like a Florida winter, right? But 64 degrees here in Buffalo, that's why I went with Mephisto. Saw the opportunity to wear something fresh and took it. But probably this week it'll probably go right back down to the 30s or 40s, where I could wear a fragrance like this. And probably where you are, you could definitely still wear a fragrance like this as well. But that is all I have for you guys. Let me know which five recommendations you would recommend for your top 5, or at least 5 really long-lasting fragrances. That is all I have for you guys today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys.